Hello everyone, this is the Saint Zero channel. I want to ask you, have you ever felt like you're the lone wolf, so to speak, where you want to do everything on your own, you trust yourself more than others, and you rely on yourself for everything? If this is the case, it may really be appetizing. It must feel nice knowing that everything you do is of your own doing. And you may want to do this because either everyone around you is incompetent or you have resentment for the people around you. Maybe it's siblings or family that may resent. Either way, if this is you and you like being the lone wolf, you like being solo or independent, it may seem like a good thing. But if you go by your own judgment on everything, how are you going to know when you mess up? Just by your own judgment? Or if you do something and you think it's good, but then multiple people come by and tell you that it's not good, are you still going to go by your own judgment? Probably not, right? This is the main topic of today. We know that the Bible teaches that everything you do, it's wise to do with counsel. Talk to people about what you're doing, get their view on it. You want to do this because, I forget how the old saying goes, the old adage, 2 heads or 2 brains on a topic, it's twice the power, and more than 2 or 3, it's 3 times the power. It's pretty obvious why you would want to do things with counsel, with people around you who you trust. Go to the experts. Because when you rely solely on yourself, everything, then you're at a big risk of being your own downfall. And I used to be like this, where I was Mr. Independent. I did everything on my own. When I was growing up, I had a big love for the outdoors, nature. No one else did. So I would go off into the forest, do my own things, learn bushcraft. If you know what that is, it's basically learning the outdoors, things, building shelters, things of that nature. No one else wanted to do it, so I would just go and do it alone. And I loved it. I loved every bit of it. But I had no one to tell me that I was messing up. Obviously, I had my own judgment. I could see something bad happen. And let's just say the average person, when they use their own judgment on something, they're right, let's say 85% of the time, 90% of the time. If you just have one person's judgment and you're analyzing something here and you're judging it, you're ensuring that everything's going good, but you don't see what's going on over here, that's affecting this scenario over here, and you're not seeing the full picture. And that's why if you have 2 people working on a subject, whatever it may be, then twice the power. And if you have a judgment, but you have an opposing view to your judgment, you learn. You could see potential mistakes. You could see where the other person is coming from. From 2 viewpoints, you see what the truth is, or the best route of action. But with 2 people, there's only one downfall, and that is you could potentially keep arguing back and forth with this opposing viewpoint, and nothing gets done. Because if I see something and I think it's red, but the person I'm working with says it's blue, we're never going to agree. So if you are working on something with one other person, it can be good, but that is the one thing where you can hit a wall. And that's why 3 is usually like the perfect number, 3 plus. Because with that 2 people saying this thing is red or blue, that third person also has their judgment and can be the mediator between the 2 and say, it's not red or blue, it's like this shade of purple, who knows. Sorry for the bad examples, but you get the point. That's why if you're arguing with someone and you don't have a mediator to understand both of these persons' views, then run at the risk of never being in agreement. Or you sometimes have a good judgment with twice the power, twice as fast. It's good. But overall, you don't want to be the lone wolf. You don't want to be the solo person going with your own judgment. With the example I just set out, you could be wrong and you won't know. That's why you want the opposing views, the different views, on the same topic. Guess where this wisdom stems from? From King Solomon himself. So, the verse I'm going to read today comes from Ecclesiastes. It's chapter 4, verses 8 to 11. It says, "There is one, and there is not a second one, and he has neither son nor brother, and there is no end to all his labor. Neither is his eye satisfied with wealth, but he never asks, 'For whom do I labor and deprive myself of goodness?' This also is vanity and a painful distraction." In this, verse 8 here, it's talking about your own solo judgment, not knowing why you labor or deprive yourself goodness. The last part of that verse, where it says, "This also is vanity and a painful distraction," vanity being ego, because I don't think ego existed when the Bible was written, but vanity is pretty synonymous with ego. You make your own judgment and you make yourself feel good. You're just boosting your own ego. So, that's verse 8. "Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, one will lift up his companion. But woe to him who is alone when he falls, for there is not a second one to help him up. If two lie down together, both stay warm. But how can one stay warm alone? If one is at his strength, two will stand before him, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken." There you have it. Threefold cord. Any of you are not sure, threefold cord is a rope, where there's three cords braided together to make the rope stronger. It's a good analogy. Obviously, the more cords you have, the stronger your rope is going to be. Like how I just described before reading the verses, of course, the more people you have, the better. The more powerful you're going to be. The more views you're going to have on whatever you're working on. So, don't be foolish. Counsel whenever you can. Don't always rely on your own judgment. Of course, times in life you're going to have to, which is fine. But for most decisions, for a lot of big decisions, you want people around you who you can talk to, who you can bring ideas to, and see if you're doing the right thing in your life. Get their opinions on it. Because even in the Bible, you use your own judgment, and you think you may be doing the good thing, it boils down to vanity. I think, with that being said, is the end to this video. There's always tons of wisdom everywhere in this book, and it's astonishing to me. Hope you enjoy. Thank you. Be sure to tune into the next video. There'll be interesting topics.